I'm Jack Kellum. I'm also known as Jack Gogsbane, of Gods and Game Masters all over the interwebs. I make gods and monsters and villains and whole worlds. I do world building consultancy. I um, make superhero villains and big bad evil guys for 5e and Tales of the Valiant. Although I was not raised in the culture, I am part Cherokee, Choctaw, and Seminole. I have written a number of, I like to think, uh, interesting uh, gods for Drintera, like the somewhat stereotypical looking on the surface Rothar, the god of thunder, Velotaris, the god of secrets, couple others. I also am looking forward to maybe throwing out some really interesting mythologically based monsters for the setting. Drintera is a whole world of adventure inspired by mythology and taking many of the interesting facets of modern fantasy as well, but in a fresh and inclusive way that doesn't put any particular race or ethnicity into stereotypical boxes. Drintera is an attempt to create a world with the input of so many good writers that it's going to be better than any one person could make by themselves. And I'm saying that, and I tend to create worlds by myself all the time. So,
what is special about Drintera?
That it is at its base a whole world. It is multicultural, more than multicultural, almost omnicultural, because it is not just a tiny part of a continent or even a continent. It's certainly not Eurocentric. In modern fantasy, there's a big tendency not just to be Eurocentric, but in fact to be Anglo-centric. Default fantasy as it is seen is in fact based on medieval and Renaissance England. And there's nothing wrong with an Anglo-centric culture or setting, obviously, but there's so much more available.
Why are you excited about Drintera?
Because it gives me an opportunity to stretch myself beyond what's just happening in my head and collaborate with a huge number of people and create something larger than myself. It also gives me the opportunity to be part of something that I think will be a very useful product and very interesting product for gamers out there. The people that will benefit the most from the magazine are probably the game masters that are going to be running fantasy games, whether they're set in Drintera or not, because each of those magazines is going to have such a wealth of mineable ideas and novel approaches to things that can be taken and put in cultures that are similar to the ones we're devising. You don't have to just use what we're presenting, right? Now, don't get me wrong. In time, Drintera will be more than complete enough for them to run entire campaigns in it. And I also think that even your average player is going to get some benefit out of reading Drintera because it opens the mind, it opens the spectrum of possibilities of what you can do with a culture for your character, for your background, for what the nature of fantasy can be other than just Eurocentric and Anglocentric.